Welcome everyone tonight to TMG Trivia. We have a special singles matchup for you this evening where we have brother versus brother, I think for the first time that I can think of in a long time in the fan leagues. We do have the BS Bros. You have probably seen them on their podcast. If not, check them out. They are awesome. We will introduce them one by one. And we will get their first singles match in TMG Trivia started. I can't do this all on my own. Thank goodness I have some help today. My good pal, A. Ron, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing great. You know, we've done this plenty of times together in Geek, and now we are here in the singles division, letting the BS brothers down there drop the BS and instead bring the movie trivia today. It'll certainly be entertaining to see who wins this match and, well, who's the better of the two brothers, because we know this is more than just about movie trivia.
Yeah, this one, I feel this one runs deep. So,
all right, so we'll go ahead and introduce our two competitors. And we'll go ahead and get to the first competitor in our BS duo, which of course would be Steve. How are we doing, Steve?
Hey, man. I'm doing great, man. You know, I'm excited to do this. B's been talking a lot of mess to me, saying, you know, he wants to face me, and you know, he said I'm the weakest link of our team for some reason. But we'll see. We'll see about that today. I mean, we both have the same, I think, about the same knowledge of things. You know, so it's going to be fun to see. I think round 2 is going to be the thing that's going to determine the match. I think, but we'll see. You never know.
For sure. And his opponent, the Shark, everybody has seen him on Movie Mania. He is Bruce. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm going to pull one out of Adam Collins' book, and I'm going to say, correction, Steve. You are the one that has been talking the mess, saying that I am the weakest link. So I had to call you out.
Not true.
I'm ready to test myself. I know you know a lot, but I think I know a lot. And no matter what, it's all in fun. We're still going to be partners at the end of the day. You know, we're still on a tag team.
Can't break us up.
Nope. Still going to BS our way through it, man.
BS your way through it. There you go. Iron sharpens iron. Nobody's going to break these guys up, but always fun to see a little civil war going on when it comes to movie trivia.
And I just gotta say, B's lying. He's trying to back away now because he's over here like, I want Steve, I want him. And now he's just like, Steve, you're the one that wanted to face me. B, he was witness. You was there. They was all there. It was like, Steve, you, me, single.
I did call you out.
Bruce did call him out. I will say that. Yep. I have to say that. I do remember that. I wrote that down.
It's because I was tired of your mouth. All right, you keep yapping and yapping, man. I'm ready to put up a shot.
False. I don't talk a lot. That's a false statement.
All right. Before we need to bring in a referee, let's try to wrangle these two up. Aaron, if you want to go over the round 1 rules real fast.
Absolutely. Unlike most brotherly battles, this one will include rules, sadly. And we are going to start here in round number 1. In round number 1, these competitors will face 10 questions, the same questions apiece. They will write their answers on their whiteboard. They'll have about 15 seconds to answer, and at which point they will present their answer. Correct answers will equal 1 point. Incorrect answers will equal absolutely nothing. Should you be able to get all 10 questions correct, there will be a bonus question to add another point to your score waiting at the end. And also remember, throughout the entirety of the game, you guys will have up to 3 repeats to be used. You will also have 1 challenge, should God forbid we need to challenge. And no, not liking your brother is not a challengeable thing in this match. That will be dealt with after. Do you have any questions from you guys?
No.
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm ready too.
Then Kevin, if you're ready, let's go ahead and get this game on.
All right, take it away, Aaron, with question number 1.
All right, guys. For your first category of the match, we're going to go ahead and start with crime movies. And your question is, who plays Detective Benoit Blanc in Knives Out?
presented by this lovely poster here on my wall.
Absolutely. One of my personal favorites of last year. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, I'm still really high on Knives Out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, boards up.
All right, we'll go ahead and go to Steve first.
Daniel Craig.
And Bruce.
Daniel Craig.
The boys start strong, getting a point apiece as we move on to question number 2.
I do declare. All right. Category number 2 is fantasy sci-fi. What role does Johnny Depp play in Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland?
People will ask whether this falls under fantasy or sci-fi. I say it falls under the third unmentioned category there, acid trip.
Yes. You mix a story like Alice in Wonderland with Tim Burton, you immediately get acid trip. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pins down, boards up. And we'll start with Bruce this time.
He's the Mad Hatter.
And Steve.
The Mad Hatter.
Both are correct. The Mad Hatter is what we're looking for.
All right, guys, we'll go ahead and move on to question number 3, and this is in the category of directors. And your question simply is, who directed Eraserhead?
You had a chance to see this?
I haven't, but it's on my list.
Oh man!
I know this is a director that you have said you
Prepare
are fond
yourself.
of.
Yeah.
And I've seen some of his other ones, so I'm looking forward to the weirder stuff too.
Yep. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, boards up.
And we'll go ahead and start with Steve.
I gotta thank my friend I worked with, or used to work with, his name is Robert. He got me into this movie. I think this is right. David Lynch.
And Bruce.
I did not know it, but I just put down Wes Craven.
Not a terrible guess, but Steve will make the shark bleed as David Lynch is correct. And Steve will go up for the first lead of the game.
Absolutely. David Lynch, a strange character. Category number 4.
That movie was strange.
But a great director. All right, category 4 is the 1990s. 1990s. What cult hit from the 90s stars John Goodman, Jeff Bridges, and Julianne Moore?
One of my weird favorite facts about David Lynch, actually, is, technically speaking, long before I ever saw one of his films, the first project I saw him involved in was actually The Cleveland Show, in which he voices the show's bartender.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's interesting. Go watch the monkeys on YouTube. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pins down, boards up. I think it's actually on Netflix now that I say that. Go ahead, Bruce.
Yeah, I think I just second guessed myself. Is it The Big Lebowski?
And Steve.
The Big Lebowski.
The dude abides. It is The Big Lebowski. Steve keeps a 4-3 lead.
All right, and we'll go ahead and move on. You guys are at the halfway point of round 1, and question number 5 will come to you in the category of war films. What war is Apocalypse Now centered around? There are quite a few options if you know roughly the time period. America loves itself a good war.
Oh yeah, and a good war film.
Absolutely.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, boards up.
And we'll go ahead and start with Steve.
I said Korean War.
And Bruce.
I said Vietnam War.
All right, and with that, Bruce is going to tie it back up. The answer was Vietnam, as the score is back 4-4. No perfect rounds, but 4 for 5 on both competitors is a great score so far.
Nice job, B.
Well, thank you.
Not a bad guess there with Korea, but it was Viet effing Nam, as the guy would say in Forrest Gump. Speaking of Forrest Gump, we'll move on to category 6, which is Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks. What is the name of the 2004 Coen Brothers film starring Tom Hanks as G.H. Dorr?
Competitors aren't thinking about what the answer is. They're just wondering what a weird combo Tom Hanks and the Coens are.
Very interesting combo, but a good movie nonetheless.
Absolutely. I wouldn't say it's one of their best, but it's certainly solid.
No, but it holds up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, boards up. And we'll start with Bruce.
Sorry. I don't know. I put Lady Killers.
Steve.
I also put Lady Killers.
Lady Killers is correct.
All right.
We're still tied 5-5.
Still a tied game as we move on to question number 7. That is going to come to you guys in the category of action adventure. In The Hunger Games, from what district is Rue, the young girl Katniss takes on as a sidekick in the film?
May the odds be ever in your favor.
Yeah, and it.
If only I had some like really awesome,
like a tiger's mane. And, I'm kind of sad the movies didn't go as far as the books describe it. Man, they make some real weird descriptions of what those people look like.
They really do. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, boards up.
All right. Both competitors wrote last minute. We'll see if they were right. Steve.
I said 11.
And Bruce.
I just took a guess. I said 3.
And with that, Steve will take a lead once again. District 11 was the answer.
Oh, man.
Just a guess.
At least no one went above the number of districts that existed. I'll be proud of you there.
And unintentionally, we go from one pick a number question to another, but we do have the category of movie release dates.
Great.
Movie release dates. What year saw the release of the moon I'm sorry, let me start that over. What year saw the release of Moonraker, The Jerk, and Alien? See, at least I was nice there. I gave you 3 movies to think about.
Yeah. This question for me, the first 2 tricked me. It clicked with me with Alien, which is usually what it is with these questions. There's the one that everyone can associate, whatever it is for you to go, that's it.
You kind of pick from different genres to maybe trigger something in the brain. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, boards up.
And we'll go ahead.
Sorry, with Bruce. My bad, Aaron. I keep forgetting.
You're good.
I put 1986.
And Steve.
I said 78.
Oh, Steve, somebody owes you a sandwich. 79. 1979 is the year we were looking for.
Close.
Right there.
So close.
He was very close.
Actually, Bruce's guess wasn't far off either. 86 was when Aliens was released, so definitely both.
Good call.
Definitely both in the ballpark.
Good call.
I was just thinking of The Jerk. I was like, that's an old Steve Martin movie right there.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll move on to your 9th and penultimate question, and that is going to come in the category of animated. And your question is, in Disney's Mulan, not the overcharged remake, but the original, what is the name of the titular character's pet dog, seen prior to her leaving for war?
As you can tell from the geek match that happened the other night, like me a good pet question.
He likes himself a bitch. I mean, it's that simple, man.
All right.
Bruce staring at the camera like he hates you.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, boards up.
We'll go ahead and start with Steve on this one.
This is such an easy question. I put Froggy.
And Bruce.
Yeah, I didn't know, so I just put my dog's name, Nico.
Both are very, very close.
Oh, while the Cosmic Night Fury should be very thrilled to have you. Yeah, very honored. Go ahead.
Both of those were very close. The answer was little brother.
Oh, okay. That was my
That's
second.
Appropriately enough for this match,
That's
it was little brother.
Steve would have been acceptable, but no one wrote.
That was definitely on purpose. All right. Your final category in round number 1, as always, comes in plot synopsis. I'll read you the plot synopsis of a film, and you give me the film. And you do have all 3 of your repeats, both of you. Some people like to use repeats on this question. All right, here we go. Your plot summary is as follows. On the run from a bank robbery that left several police officers dead, 2 brothers hightail it to the Mexican border. Kidnapping a preacher and his kids, the criminals sneak across the border in the family's RV and hole up in a topless bar.
So many words to pick from that plot synopsis. What is the one that triggers it for these 2 to get the answer?
Give you about 20 seconds to think about that.
Certainly, I'm a fan of these plot synopsis questions. I like that it's a consistent thing now. I certainly think it brings a flavor to these matches.
It does, for sure. All right, let's see if they got it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, boards up, and we'll go to Bruce.
Is it Once Upon a Time in Mexico?
And Steve.
I put From Dusk Till Dawn.
It's that one.
From Dusk Till Dawn is correct for 1 point. All right, so Steve finishes up just 2 points ahead of Bruce, 7-5. Still anybody's game for sure going into round number 2. Aaron, take it away with the rules for round number 2.
Absolutely. In round number 2, the competitors will be at the mercy of this thing we have called the wheel. The wheel will have all sorts of categories on it, including opponents and spinners' choice, as well as a strength picked by each of these 2. When you spin the wheel, you will land on your first category. You'll have a chance to accept, or if you do not like it, you can deny that category, at which point it'll be spun again, and whatever you land on, you will stick with. In that category, you will get 5 questions, each worth 2 points for a maximum of 10 points should you get all correct. If you don't know the answer to one right away but think multiple choice will help, you can check to it, at which point the question will be worth 1 point. The competitors can also steal any questions that their opponent gets wrong. You guys also do still have all 3 of your repeats and a challenge should be needed. Any questions, guys?
Good.
Nope. Clarified.
All right. And so with that, with Steve being in the lead, he's going to go ahead and go first as we go ahead and bring up the wheel.
Steve, I'm going to read you the round 2 categories that are on the wheel, and then you'll have the option to either spin first or defer to your elder brother. Let's go with your choices tonight. On the wheel, Jim Carrey, the Scream franchise, romance/rom-coms, 2000s, animated, taglines, sports, biopics, action adventure, and Christopher Nolan, and then of course spinners and opponent's choice. So what would you like or would you like to spin first, or would you like to defer?
I'll defer to B.
All right. So since there's nobody else for you to defer to, I don't think Aaron would be too good at these questions.
I don't hate the categories, but I'll let these 2 fight.
Yeah, there you go. Aaron just doesn't belong in this kind of match. He would get eaten alive. So we will. Yes, there you go. That you have a primed wheel with all the ones that I just read to you. We will give you a spin, Bruce the Shark. Your first one is in, sir. And we have a cool looking Halloween wheel
Nice.
because it'll probably be close to Halloween when this drops.
Yeah, probably. It's
Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween, folks. It lands on sports for your first spin of the wheel. Would you like to keep it, or would you like to put it in the hands of fate and spin once more?
Oh man. I'll go ahead and spin again. I'm gonna do it in the hands of fate.
All right, he is definitely testing fate tonight. And
The
there
hand
we
of
go.
fate just kept him out of opponent's choice on that previous spin, so maybe fate likes him. We'll see
There
with
you
this
go.
one.
It doesn't look like it, though. It came back around to opponent's choice. So your brother will pick your poison, sir. Go ahead, Steve. Would you like me to read those off again?
Yeah, read them off again.
All right, sure. Let's make sure I read them in the right order this time. Jim Carrey, the Scream franchise, Christopher Nolan, 2000s, romance and rom-coms, animated, taglines, sports, biopics, action adventure, and then spinners and opponents, which doesn't apply here.
It's gonna be tough. I'm gonna give him my. I'm gonna give him Jim Carrey. I'm gonna give him my.
All right, a bold move there, giving him Jim Carrey. But absolutely, let's see how that strategy works. If you will, Aaron, take those questions for Bruce.
Absolutely. Bruce, you're going to have 5 questions in the category of Jim Carrey. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's begin. Your first question is, who directed Jim Carrey in the 2000 family holiday film How the Grinch Stole Christmas?
Ooh, is that Ron Howard? Final answer?
That is going to be correct for 2 points to bring him to a tie with 4 questions left to go. We'll go ahead and move on to question number 2. In Yes Man, Carl and Allison meet at the airport for a spontaneous weekend trip to what location? And we will need city and state.
That would be Lincoln, Nebraska. Final answer.
That is correct for 2 more points. I apologize, a little head there. But
the Sharks eating well so far through round 2.
Absolutely. We'll go ahead and move on to question number 3. Right before the business goes under, what position is Dick promoted to for Globodyne in Fun with Dick and Jane?
I'm gonna go multiple choice on that one.
Okay.
Absolutely. And your 4 options are A, Chief Financial Operator, B, Vice President of Marketing, C, Human Resources Manager, or D, Vice President of Communication.
Will it cost me to hear the options one more time?
No.
You'll get 1 for free, yeah.
Yeah, one more time, please.
All right, so your options again are A, Chief Financial Officer, B, Vice President of Marketing, C, Human Resources Manager, or D, Vice President of Communication.
I'm going to go A. Final answer.
All right, that is going to be incorrect, so we will move over to Steve for a 1-point steal. I'll read you your question and your multiple choice options once again. Right before the business goes under, what position is Dick promoted to for Globodyne in Fun with Dick and Jane? And your options are A, Chief Financial Operator, C, Vice President of Marketing, or B, sorry, Vice President of Marketing, C, Human Resources Manager, or D, Vice President of Communication.
Dang, B. I thought you were going to address either B or D, because it's either one of those, I think. I'm going to just D, as in dog. Final answer.
And D, Vice President of Communication, is going to be the correct answer. Steve will get 1 point back on him, with the score going 8-9. Sorry, there we go. Okay. Well, all right. Question number 4 in the category of Jim Carrey. Who plays Lieutenant Lois Einhorn, who turns out to be former kicker Ray Finkel in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective?
I'm going to need multiple choice.
All right. Your multiple choice options are A, Alice Drummond, B, Rebecca Ferrati, C, Lauren Holly, or D, Sean Young.
I'm going to go B.
B is incorrect. So we're going to go to Steve once again for another chance at a 1-point steal to tie it back up. Your question and options are: who plays Lieutenant Lois Einhorn, who turns out to be former kicker Ray Finkel in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective? A, Alice Drummond, B, Rebecca Ferrati, C, Lauren Holly, or D, Sean Young?
I'm just going to guess A.
That is also incorrect. Your answer was a D, Sean Young.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No clue.
Einhorn is Finkel.
All right. And with that, we will move on to the fifth and final question in Jim Carrey. What is the name of the penguin which Tom's dad leaves him with in Mr. Popper's Penguins?
Oh, my God.
Need
I'm
answer multiple choice 5.
I'm going to take a guess because I don't think Steve knows it either, so I'm not going to go multiple choice. I'm going to go final answer, Gary.
That is incorrect. So for a 2-point steal with no multiple choice options, Steve, your question is, what is the name of the penguin which Tom's dad leaves him with in Mr. Popper's Penguins?
I'm just going to guess Tom.
That is also incorrect. The answer we were looking for was Captain.
Captain.
Not a bad guess there, though.
And while it started off good for Bruce, the choice of going with the strength works out. He does get 4 points out of it, but Steve gets the 1-point steal back, meaning the score is 8-9, Bruce having a 1-point lead going into Steve's round 2.
Absolutely. And here comes Steve's first spin of the wheel. Oh, and
Christopher Nolan.
I'll spin again.
He's going to spin again. He was pretty quick to that decision. Let's see how that plays out. Whatever it lands on here, you will be forced to keep. And it lands on biopics.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
All right.
The hands of fate clearly have an issue with the Boyd family.
Let's see how that decision to spin away from Nolan pays off in the terms of biopics. 5 questions in that realm. Are you ready, Steve?
I'm ready.
All right, you have all 3 repeats. Bruce, hands on screen both, but Bruce, you have the option to steal, so be ready for that. Don't forget about multiple choice. All right, your first question in the realm of biopics is as follows. Cher and Sam Elliott star in what 1985 film about the life and death of Roy L. Dennis?
Multiple choice.
All right, multiple choice. Is it A, Mask, B, Sylvia, C, Out of Africa, or D, Sweet Dreams?
I'm gonna do a C.
C, out of Africa, is incorrect. We'll go to Bruce. I'll read you the question, give you the options for a 1-point steal. Cher and Sam Elliott star in what 1985 film about the life and death of Roy L. Dennis? Is it A, Mask, B, Sylvia, C, Out of Africa, or D, Sweet Dreams?
Is it B, Sylvia? Final answer?
That is also incorrect, so nothing gained, nothing lost. That is Mask is the answer we were looking for. Mask.
It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be a bad round.
I only know about Jim Carrey's Mask, though.
That is the Mask, but close. No. All right. So your second question in biopic, Steve. In The Social Network, what is the name of the campus website that Mark Zuckerberg creates that allows users to rate the attractiveness of females on campus?
Multiple choice.
All right. Is it A, Facebook, B, the Harvard Connection, C, Face Mash, or D, Live Journal?
I'm gonna just C.
C, Face Mash is correct for 1 point.
Good job, Steve.
Hey, it's just a guess, man.
I knew that one.
Well, good for you, B. That's why I went multiple choice.
Wise decision there. All right, your third question in biopics. Who plays Archibald Cunningham, who is ordered to bring in Robert McGregor for failing to repay a loan in 1995's Rob Roy?
I'll be multiple choice.
All right. Is it A, Liam Neeson, B, Brian Cox, C, Tim Roth, or D, John Hurt?
I'm gonna guess big old John Hurt.
John Hurt, D is incorrect. Bruce for the 1-point steal. Who plays Archibald Cunningham, who is ordered to bring in Robert McGregor for failing to repay a loan in 1995's Rob Roy? Is it A, Liam Neeson, B, Brian Cox, C, Tim Roth, or D, John Hurt?
Just because I can see this guy doing this, is it Liam Neeson?
That is also incorrect.
It's Tim Roth.
It is Tim Roth indeed. So another question. Nothing gained, nothing lost there. But yes, that is definitely Tim Roth in an awesome role.
Biopics is not our strength.
It is not.
Hey, that is fair. The wheel giveth, the wheel taketh away. All right.
Yeah, I told you round 2, man. Round 2.
It's a decider round for sure. All right, your penultimate question, Steve, in biopics. John Reed signs on to be the manager of Queen in 2018's Bohemian Rhapsody. What band or artist was he already managing at the time?
Multiple choice.
All right, your multiple choice. Is it A, The Who, B, Elton John, C, Bob Dylan, or D, Pink Floyd?
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna guess Bob Dylan.
That is incorrect. I'm gonna go to Bruce with 1-point steal. John Reed signs on to be the manager of Queen in 2018's Bohemian Rhapsody. What band or artist was he already managing at the time? Is it A, The Who, B, Elton John, C, Bob Dylan, or D, Pink Floyd?
Elton John.
It was Elton John. That is correct for 1 point. And 1 point is going to be big in this match, I can tell. This is a tight one, folks. All right. Your fifth and final question, Steve, in biopics. During which war does Alan Turing decipher codes for the British in The Imitation Game?
I don't know. Well, multiple choice.
All right. Is it A, the Korean War, B, World War One, C, the Cold War, or D, World War Two?
I'll just see.
C, the Cold War is incorrect. Gonna go back to Bruce.
Man, this is just horrible, man.
During which war does Alan Turing decipher codes for the British in The Imitation Game? Is it A, the Korean War, B, World War One, C, the Cold War, or D, World War Two?
I'm gonna go World War One.
That is also incorrect. World War Two is the war we were looking for. World War Two.
Man, I'll tell you, man, this wheel is just, seems like every match I play, this wheel just don't give me nothing I want. I'm serious, man.
There's a voodoo around us.
It is a fickle mistress. I agree with you 100% there.
Out of all the categories on here, the only one I didn't want to get was biopics. I should have stuck with Nolan, man.
And hey, that's how you have to approach it.
If it makes you feel better, in my singles match, my poison was stoner movies, so it can get worse.
I'll do better with that one.
Wouldn't we all? All right, we're gonna go to Aaron for our round 3 rules, and we will jump right into round 3.
Absolutely. So with the close game we have here of 10-9, round 3 is going to be a big decider in this one. In round number 3, you guys will each pick 3 numbers between 1 and 16. Each number is designated to a category, and the order in which you pick them will designate how much the question is worth. You will have the opportunity to answer up to 3 questions. The first one will be worth 2 points. The second will be worth 3 points. And the last one will be worth a very big but difficult 5 points. You guys also keep all of your repeats and challenges. Both of you have all 3 of your repeats left for this round, as well as your challenges. And Bruce, because you do have that 1 point lead, you are going to go ahead and pick your numbers first. What numbers pick your fancy between 1 and 16?
All right, I'm going to go 1, 5, and 11.
All right. And Steve, what are your numbers? 1 through 16, but not 1, 5, and 11.
I do 3, 7, and 13.
All right.
All right.
All their numbers are 2 apart, mirroring each other the whole way through.
That is true. That's a good observation there. We will switch up. Whoever we gave the round 2 questions to, we'll get the round 3. We'll do the opposite.
Okay.
So I'll let you take Steve's questions to begin.
Absolutely. Steve, I'll be reading you your first 2-pointer in category 3, which will correlate with horror thriller. Right. And your 2-point question is, in what 1970s film will you find a little girl being possessed by the demon Pazuzu?
And answer in 5, 4, 3.
The
2.
Exorcist.
That is going to be correct for 2 points, and a big 2 points, which will push Steve to a score of 11 and force it to bounce back to Bruce.
Absolutely. And Bruce selected number 1 for his first question, and that falls in the realm of sci-fi fantasy. Sci-fi fantasy. So Bruce, your 2-pointer in sci-fi fantasy. Richard Martin is the patriarch of the Martin family, is played by whom in 1999's Bicentennial Man?
Only person I know in this movie, Robin Williams.
That is incorrect. We were looking for Sam Neill. Sam Neill.
Sam Neill. Hey, I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Alan Grant
man.
himself.
Yep.
Man.
It was Dr. Grant. So
Alan.
it's all right. We'll move on to your 3-pointer. You hit this, you send it back over to Bruce. And that was in category number 5, which is the 1990s. The 1990s. Your 3-pointer is as follows. In Austin Powers' International Man of Mystery, what type of weapon does Random Task use? And answer repeat in 5, 4, 3.
Can you repeat the question, please?
All right.
It's your first one.
For 3 points in 1990s. In Austin Powers' International Man of Mystery, what type of weapon does Random Task use? We will need an answer in 5.
A shoe.
A shoe is correct for 3 big points. Sending it back over to Steve. Who throws a shoe, honestly?
That's all I was thinking about. I was like, I couldn't figure out his name. I'm like, is his name Random Task?
Yes, it's a play on Odd Job from
Yeah.
the Bond movies. But that is a great pull. Sending it back over to Steve for his 3.
All right. And with that score of 13-11, Steve, your 3-pointer, you picked the number 7, which has it fall in the category of Steven Spielberg. And your question is, in AI, artificial intelligence, what are the humanoid robots that lack emotions called?
And answer repeat in 5, 4, 3.
I have no idea. I'm gonna guess artificial intelligence.
Not the worst guess.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. The answer we were looking for was mechas.
That's a great movie too, man. I love that movie.
All right. And so with that, Steve will be pushed to his 5-pointer, which he picked for the category of 13. And that is going to fall in the category of scores and soundtracks.
Sweet.
All right. So, Steve, remember, you do still have all 3 repeats, so you can get almost as much time as you may need with this question. And that question is, who composed the scores to The Lady in Red, Commando, and Willow?
I heard of one of these movies. That's it. I'm not really good at scores and soundtracks. So this is gonna be this is it already. I can already tell you that.
Need an answer repeat in 5, 4.
I'm just gonna guess. Repeat, please.
Okay.
All right. That is not a bad guess.
Very good guess. I was gonna say.
All right. In scores and soundtracks, who composed the scores for The Lady in Red, Commando, and Willow?
Man, I just have bad luck, man. I just have bad luck. Every game it seems like I just look like I don't know nothing. I'll do another repeat.
Another repeat?
One more repeat there. And you do still have 1 left.
All right. In scores and soundtracks, who scored The Lady in Red, Commando, and Willow? Remember, you do have one more repeat should you want the time to try and think.
And we'll need that in 5, 4.
Yeah, why not? It ain't gonna matter,
2.
but why not? Do
Can't
All
take
right.
it home. Can't take it home with you. So using the last repeat.
For your 5 points in the category of scores and soundtracks. Who composed the scores for The Lady in Red, Commando, and Willow?
I have no clue. I'm just gonna guess John Williams.
And your winner, Bruce the Shark. The answer we're looking for, James Horner. James Horner. So not a bad guess there, going for a famous composer. We will drop Steve to the back for just a so I get questions aside, does this resolve the brotherly conflict that was going on there?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you could say it does. I know Steve's way better than that. He's just had some bad luck on the wheels in these last couple matches, and I know it kind of gets to him. And I try to tell him, like, hey, man, it's just bad luck. You know, the wheel's gonna spin. The wheel's gonna spin. I know he's beating himself up because he actually is pretty good at Nolan movies, but he was aiming for that scream. I know he was.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, that's just bad luck, and it's gonna turn around eventually. I know.
Oh
it does,
yeah,
so.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it definitely it works both ways. I mean, sometimes the wheel giveth, and sometimes it taketh away.
The wheel
I mean,
does get tired of screwing.
yeah, believe it or not, better days are ahead. But as far as yourself, you spun Opponent's Choice. You were given Jim Carrey. You started out pretty hot, and then you kind of tailed off. What were you thinking there? I mean,
yeah, I'm pretty good in Jim Carrey movies. Like he's one of my favorite actors, but he has a wide range of movies, so I knew that the questions could be all over the place. And that Fun with Dick and Jane question, I had Vice President of something in my head, but something clicked. Like for some reason, I was like, maybe he's not. Maybe it's just trying to throw me off. So I second guessed myself, and I should never do that. And I did, and I ended up getting it wrong. But yeah, like Steve said, second round, is what really decided this game. He got biopics, and we talked before this match like, hey, if either one of us get biopics in the second round, it's probably going to cost the match because that's the only thing on the wheel that we both were kind of iffy on.
yeah.
So, but
those movies are definitely like either you've seen them and you know them, or that's just not your game.
Yeah.
Totally understandable. But yeah, this this is a league match, so it puts you at 1-0. And we are trying to get to a point after the Geek tournament. I know we're going to do something to set up so we can get to a number one contendership match.
Awesome.
To see who's going to face Ryan. So that puts you in a good position. And anything else you want to add here?
No, I'm glad to get my first singles match, under my belt. It's good to get into singles. I like doing teams, but trying to test my own knowledge. So I know things I need to work on now, and yeah.
Sweet.
So it was a great match from both of you. Just unfortunate bad luck with the wheel on both ends, but good game, man. Good game.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Definitely a defensive struggle, I guess you would call it. Our unfortunate second place finisher. There are no losers here. Steve, you just had a rough string of questions. Started off really hot, 7-10 in the first round. You just hit that biopic wall, and
yeah, the
you could
biopic
almost
really got me.
yeah.
I wouldn't say B had a bad second round. I gave him Jim Carrey because
no.
I wanted to be nice with him and doing Jim Carrey. I'm like, okay, round two's gonna be good to him. Hopefully, be good to me. I'm being a nice guy. I guess not. It's pretty just crazy to me. This second round always gets me. It seems like all the losses I've gotten since I started this trivia has been the second round because it's been opponent's choice and stuff. So. I should have stuck with Nolan, but there was everything else on there. I was like, okay, what's the chance of Nolan on biopics, and it did. So I mean, everything else on there, I was okay. I was okay of getting, even opponent's choice.
Yeah.
I think B would have gave me a decent category since I did. So even opponent's choice, I wasn't worried about either. So it was just
That's
biopics,
fair.
and then scores and soundtracks. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Like, I mean, I understand of course, the round 3 questions are what they are. But when you have a wheel that is very enticing like that, you see a few things that, oh, I wouldn't mind having those. You're definitely like more apt to respin than if
Yeah, I
you see
should have.
something on there you're like terrified of. But
Yeah,
but
I
yeah,
should have just
I can.
stuck with Nolan because I know if I didn't know that, I could have just been a Marvel choice and probably would have gotten it. But like I would have said, like uh, anything else, I was okay with, even anything but biopics, because I don't really like watch any biopics really. So
Yeah.
it's just the way it is, man. But I'm mad that he beat me because he's gonna talk mess to me now. You know, and it's just crazy to me. This wheel, man, it's getting on my skin a little bit. It really is because. I know a lot of stuff, but some of the stuff that I'm
Yeah.
getting is just my goodness, man. It's getting very frustrating because I'm just looking like, man, what the heck?
I think something that you can take away from this match is, even though, again, unfortunately, the wheel didn't turn out for you, and that is part of what played into the loss. Obviously, I know exactly how it feels. When I played my singles match against Chris, I remember saying to Kevin before the match, the one category I don't want is stoner films. Everything else I can fight my way through. And then I landed on stoner films. And of course, I lost, and it was not even half as close as this match was for you two. But one thing I think you can take away from this is in terms of the gameplay, because it seems like you have a good solid foundation for round 1, 7 of 10. I'd say anything 7 and above is a really, really good round 1, considering the lack of perfects we have in this league in general.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a really great round 1 to get you going. And despite the fact that I know you were giving it to him with the intent of, the nice gesture, it actually did kind of work out in your favor there, because out of a possible 10 points, he only achieved 4, and you were able to get a point back off of him, meaning the break between you two in that space wasn't that large.
No,
It was that way the rest of the game, So I think in terms of the strategy in the round 1, you're there. I just think whenever the luck of the wheel turns, once you get that category that you want and you can nail it, the win's definitely there for you to take because you have the rest of it down.
Well, thanks, appreciate it. I just get frustrated with myself because I study a lot. I have some that I just don't. I don't know. I don't really have interest in watching. I don't really like biopics that much for some reason, but I might just have to start just spreading, my knowledge throughout everything. Even scores and soundtracks. I'm just like, I don't know, man. Some of that stuff is it's just a lot.
Yeah,
it is a
and
lot.
I'm like, man.
And a lot
And
of
then
it will
two of
come
those movies I never
with
even heard
time.
of. I'm
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
what the heck?
A lot of it, like it may be 2 or 3, 5 matches down the road, and you'll hear that again, and you'll be like, I know this, like I just heard this somewhere. It's that kind of thing. You learn a lot from just osmosis, doing more
Yeah.
matches more of the time.
Like me and B, we watch a lot of trivia, like Schmodown and everything. We watch, you guys, everything. We always like play along and stuff, we both know a lot. It's just some of the stuff we're just like, I thought the wheel
Go ahead and
slices,
bring
and I'm
word
like,
first back
not
in.
biopics.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
I can
biopics.
see biopics isn't really something you want to sit down and watch with your brother all the time. So
No.
I can for sure see where that would be an issue. Uh, but yeah, I mean, as far as singles, are you still gonna, shore up? Do you plan to shore up those weaknesses, Steve, and
Well, I
continue
mean,
to compete in singles?
I want to. It's just
Okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to. I'm just hoping the wheel, man. I'm just hoping the wheel can just give me something good for once, man. For once, just give me something good, because like you
If
said,
you
round
learn,
1, I was
if you learn
very.
if there's some kind of like magical dance or some candles you have to burn or something, you draw
Well,
like a pentagram. Just let
I.
me know because I need the same kind of luck.
Because like you said, round 1, I was feeling pretty confident, but then like it just seemed like this felt. I'm just saying, I scored 4 points in two rounds. It's freaking crazy to me how much the wheel hates me. It's like, oh, you don't want this. Because me and B was talking, we're just like, can't have biopics, or else it's over. And that's what happened. I knew it. It's just like I knew it right when I got it. I'm like, it's over. Because I'm like, I just can't. I don't know nothing about biopics at all, as you can tell at that one point. So.
Well, I mean, at least you can use this as a learning tool. Whenever you get the wheel for a match in the future, if there's something on it you have questionable or whatever, about your skill, then maybe it's something to at least, do some wiki dives on, or YouTube dives. I mean, even if you watch movies, daily, it's like, what are you going to get the most out of? So you got to do what you got to do, but totally understand there. But you guys as a team, you're a great team. So that's obvious. And it's been fun seeing what you can do separately. If you guys wanted to, I wanted to give you a moment to promote your podcast, and I'll let you take it away.
All right, man. Steve, since you let me talk about the podcast, you wanna chime in? You want me to just talk?
Go ahead, B.
Okay. Yeah. So me and my brother here, we run a podcast. That's BS Podcast. We talk movies. We just recently started diving into sports. We're big sports guys, football. So started talking about some football. Schmodown. Love Schmodown. We dive deep into it, So check us out. You can listen to us anywhere. Podcasts are available. Check us out on Facebook. That's BS Podcast. And we're on Twitter, too. That's BS Podcast 1. So check us out. Steve?
I guess.
He just shows up.
I do got to say one thing. All I got to say, Steve, is once the wheel decides that it's going to change the fate, you're going to be pretty dangerous, because I know how good you are.
I agree. You can tell from the first round.
Yeah.
It can definitely get you down. Trust me, I've been there when you just don't have the questions go your way, and you could see it. But yeah, I definitely think whoever you play next will have a definite test in front of them. So good luck in your next matches. And Aaron, anything you have to say before we close it out?
No, I think this was it's a lower scoring match, but I think that's only because the wheel was not kind to either of these two gentlemen. But they definitely both showed with solid round ones and some decent round threes, and what they could with round two, that there's definitely a foundation there for them to both continue on working together well as a team, as well as with shoring up the few weaknesses, go on to be good singles players.
That's well put. Better than I could say. So we will leave it at that. I have been your host for the evening, Kevin the Philosopher Poss. My co-host, Aaron Canole, and for Steve and Bruce the Shark, we thank you for watching TMG Singles only on TMG Trivia. See you next time.